Hi friends. Okay. Yeah, hi Arya. Yes, we are here again talking about Bangalore. And yes, I'm late today because of some tech issue at our end. But now everything is sorted and I'm out here. So quickly join in and let me know if you can hear me. Hi Kunal. Thank you everyone for waiting for me. That shows your dedication, your commitment. It's a nice thing. Okay. चलो जी आज सीधा पढ़ाई की बात ठीक है लेट्स मूव ऑन टू आवर क्वेश्चंस ओके लेट्स डू दिस एज आई सेड आज का पैटर्न कैसा होगा पूरा मिक्स है ठीक है खिचड़ी बना के लाया हूँ राइट लेट्स सी हाउ वेल वी वर्क ऑन इट ठीक है this is the first one. This is a double filler. If you can see, right, there are two blanks out here. Double fillers are basically easier to go across with. Why? Because we have got two options for like everything. So we have got two options out there. If you don't know what is the meaning of the first one, you can actually check up the second one and so on, right? So start working on that. Let's see where we stand. Okay. Go on. Start. The first sentence says his lecture was surprisingly dash in tone yet strangely dash in structure, making it difficult to follow. I'll tell you this question should be taking around 5 seconds to 10 seconds, not more than that. Okay. So Kunal says C. Any specific reason for that, Kunal? Parshav says C. Okay. Okay, Sia says A but doubtful. Okay, so Parshav, you actually took intricate to be the reason for the answer. Okay, this is what you were saying. Nisha says D, buoyant is happy, right? Maybe, seems to be. Okay, let's see. His lecture was surprisingly dash in tone. Okay, can be positive, negative, I don't know yet. Fine. Next, yet strangely dash in structure, making it difficult to follow. Important part is what? Difficult to follow. Still a problem, a big problem, right? We would not be able to write anything. Fine, never mind. We'll still do the question. So I'll tell you what the answer is. You might take with you. Okay, look at it, guys. What is it written across? Okay, Sunayan, right? I believe it's Sunayan. Sunayan, why did you come across with A? You tell me. Parth says C. Okay, fine. For IPMAT. So can I attend this class? Definitely, Ishant. Definitely you should attend this class. This is a very important class for us. Okay. Just give me a sec, huh? I'll just try to, because without pen it would be difficult. I'll just, yes, this will work for us. Ah, good. Now look at it carefully, okay? This part could have been positive or negative, because when I'm reading the thing, I can't really make it out, because it can be surprisingly positive, surprisingly negative, can be anything. But the important part out here is, next it was written as yet, so whatever is written out here, this part has to be the opposite of it, right? Contradictory. Then it comes across making it difficult to follow, which means that this has to be a negative one, okay? Now, if I say methodical or methodical, then what would it be? It would be following a method, right? That's what it would say, right? Something which is in order, something which is in sequence. So method, it cannot be a negative thing. So this part goes away because of method. Next, what do we have? We have got derivative, disjointed. Now, disjointed clearly shows like this means without, joint means something which is joining up, right? So disjointed means something which is negative for sure, right? Intricate is a neutral word in that way. Intricate can be something which is very complex, and then again something which is very profound, something which is very deep. Understood, right? So in that case, intricate is a neutral word, okay? And definitely it would be a positive word if I keep it in front of disjointed, right? But when we talk in terms of derivative, what is derivative? Derivative is something which has been already derived from something, which clearly means that this is something which is unoriginal, right? Unoriginal, which means does not work for me, does not work. If it is original or not original, does not make it difficult to follow. So sense-wise derivative is not working. So definitely, yes, D part goes away. This part also goes away. B and D goes away. A and C was left, in which the more negative one is A, and therefore the answer has to be A, right? Yeah. Easy? Have you understood? Right. So these are the words given across to us. Quickly let us know which is what. Sober. What does sober stand for? What is sober? He's sober, right? He's not high, he's sober or something like that, right? So sober thing is what? Something to do with being serious, okay? Something which was restrained, controlled, right? Something which was sophisticated, something like that, right? Not drunk, right? Not necessarily. Sober is not always about drinking, right? Sober is like he's wearing a sober dress. What does that mean? Which means like it is presentable, right? It is sophisticated, elegant, which is a positive word, which means this part was a positive thing. I can definitely use a sober thing, right? The opposite part on the negative, what is that? Disjointed, which I've already said. What is disjointed? What does it mean? It means, what is it? No connection, right? No connection, as easy as that. So disjointed, there was no connection in the structure, and therefore it was difficult to follow. Easy to do, right? So A part can work. What is spry? Spry, what does it mean? What can spry stand for? Even at this age, he's quite spry. Even at this stage or this age, he is quite spry. So what would it be? It is something to do with energy. Spry is someone who is energetic. I hope you are writing all these words. Fine, important words they are, right? Let's go. Buoyant. What is buoyant? Buoyant is something to do with, buoyance. So what happens? You come up. So this is going up. So your emotions which are up, which means you are cheerful. So buoyant is cheerful. Okay. And what is the last word we are left with? ACEROSE. Right? That's ACEROSE. Fine. Aceros. What is it? Aceros is basically something like a thorn kind of thing, right? So we can say needle-like or thorny, something like that, right? Of course, which is not working. So out of these, the only option that is working is A, which is sober and disjointed. But the important part out here is not about catching hold of the meanings, but the more important part is there are some words you know, there are some words you don't know, but out of all these things, what are you trying to do? Even if you don't know the meaning, you would try to catch hold of the answer, right? And this is how we can actually get them. So what is the right answer out here? It is sober and disjointed. Has everyone understood? Nokila. Haan, beta, nokila. Fine. At least make it English, no? Say the nokila, okay? It would become something which is, English. Englishy. Okay, fine. First question, everyone understood? Let's rush to the next question. Yeah. What is it today? So we have a para completion, but I have not given you a complete paragraph. What I have given across is a sentence, right? Why? Because I want to build that thought process in you that when this comes across, how you go about with this, okay? Fine. See, in recent years, the idea of slow productivity has gained traction among knowledge workers overwhelmed by constant digital demands. Okay, which sentence should logically follow? Logically follow means after that, what would come? Yeah, Arya. Okay, right. Be quick about it. Okay, Sunayan has come across with A. Any reason behind it? Arya says B. Parth says A. Fine, guys, no more answers. Okay, I need your reasons with the answers. Okay, don't just go across and give an answer to me. Kunal says A. Okay, Urahara. Urahara is saying C. Sia is saying A. Which one would I go for? Let's see. In recent years, the idea of slow productivity, okay, slow productivity, the productivity is happening, but it is slow. Okay, fine. Has gained traction. What is traction? Tell me what is traction. Among knowledge workers, overwhelmed. So they are overwhelmed by constant digital demands. Fine. Digital demands, which means like there are certain demands. It's A because it defines what the concept of slow productivity is. Okay. It extends the concept. Fine. Sunayan, did you understand the sentence which was given across to us? It extends the concept. Okay, Arya, let's see. Does it actually? So, Sunayan, you have to see whether it was actually asking for a definition or not, right? And Arya, you have to see whether it was talking about the concept or not, because it is actually not. Okay, okay, fine. So, everyone has given their thought process. What I'm asking for is whether do you know what is the meaning of this word? Okay, Kunal, fine. Tell me what is the meaning of traction? Has gained traction among knowledge workers, which means what is it happening? Are they happy with this or they are not? So knowledge workers, the people who are dealing in knowledge, they are working with knowledge, right? Are they happy with this thought process or not? Gaining popularity? Are you sure, Sam? If it is gaining popularity, why are people pulling back from there? Just think of it, guys. How would traction be used if I say that knowledge workers overwhelmed by constant digital demands? Have they accepted it, or they are pulling back from it, or they are like moving back from it? They are saying like, no, this is not our thing. Not happy. Yes, Kunal, they are not happy. Okay, so they are not happy with this slow productivity trend or something like that. Okay, so now keeping that in mind, just think, this trend focuses on reducing one's working hours drastically. Can it actually be reducing the working hours if the knowledge workers are overwhelmed by constant digital demands? If the demands are constant, can the working hours can go down? They cannot, right? To align with personal priorities rather than professional expectations. So this part definitely not working, right? Moreover, the word drastically comes across, which is going across in an extreme thought process, right? So A part definitely not working for me. Okay, let's go for B part. Fine. Oops. Now look at the B part. What does it say? Instead of encouraging laziness, so rather than making them lazy or something, it argues for sustained focus on fewer tasks to improve depth and long-term output, right? Now, if I look at it carefully, this part was an extreme thought process. About this one, instead of encouraging laziness, it argues for sustained focus on fewer tasks. This one is telling us how slow productive was supposed to work, right? So can I keep B or not? Can I keep B? Most companies, however, let's go to this, still prefer traditional productivity matrices that quantify an employee's performance strictly by visible output. Now, this clearly cannot work for me because this is talking about traditional productivity, which is going away from whatever the thought process was given across. The thing was given across for digital commands or demands, and C part is not actually working with it, right? So definitely C part not coming. D part, the concept also warns against multitasking, which psychologists believe increases cognitive efficiency in high pressure setting. Now look at this, D part can be talking about the same thing, but it is talking about a very different ideation altogether, right? A new thing is getting added to it, so which means I cannot logically follow with this because I really don't know whether it is going to help in whether it is against multitasking or not, whether it is psychologists believe in increasing cognitive or not. So in that case, the best part to go about with is which one? So the better answer out here would be B. Fine. Instead of encouraging laziness, it argues for sustained focus. So rather, traction among knowledge workers, what is happening? Constant digital demands they have. Okay. So instead of encouraging laziness, so what is happening out here? The knowledge workers, they are not, they might be that they thought about being lazy with this, but it is not about laziness. It argues for sustained focus on fewer tasks to improve depth and long-term output, which means it is actually telling us what really slow productive work as, and in which the knowledge workers cannot feel that, okay, fine, if it is slow productive, then I don't have to do any work, or I have to do very less work. So that's why better answer is B, right? Quickly tell me if you have understood. So such cases, you know, अगर हम बात करते हैं जैसे कि हमारा दिमाग जो चलता है ना, there are many times that we don't understand what is written out there. Yes, it is a little bit confusing. Yes, okay. So this is what really happens out there. But ऐसे केस में करना क्या है? The most important thing is that you need to see which is the one. You know, it's almost like a jigsaw puzzle, right? So when I use a jigsaw puzzle, there are some parts that would, you know, get stuck and you cannot actually catch out there, right? You cannot place it out that place. So this is almost like that. Okay, तो यहाँ पर भी ऐसा ही कुछ है कि एकदम fine lines होते हैं which has to be worked upon. So what is to be done? You have to catch hold कि इनमें से कौन सा वाला काम कर सकता है, right? कौन सा वाला नहीं काम कर सकता है, वो आप जब तक नहीं हटाओगे तब तक आपको क्लैरिटी नहीं आएगी, राइट? तो वो क्लैरिटी लाने के लिए सबसे पहले द वंस यू डोंट लाइक यू नीड टू remove them and only then you can reach out to the correct one. Okay, so basically slow productivity is linked with encouraging laziness. Is it right, sir? No, Kunal, it is actually slow productivity is not about laziness, and that is why all those workers, right, the people who are actually working, they might feel like, oh, slow productivity मतलब वैसे हम पूरे महीने में इतना काम करते थे लेकिन अब हमारे को थोड़ा काम करना है. This is something like it. So that's why वहाँ पर वो कह रहे हैं कि instead of encouraging laziness, so slow productivity is not about laziness, it is actually about sustained focus. ठीक है, fewer task को कम काम करो, उस पर ज़्यादा ध्यान दो and you make it more what strong. तो इसीलिए वर्कर्स थोड़े ओवरवेल्म हैं कि भाई ये क्या हो गया, स्लो प्रोडक्टिविटी में भी काम करना पड़ रहा है, वी हैव गॉट कॉन्स्टेंट डिजिटल डिमांड्स एंड ऑल दैट. ठीक है, क्लियर है? आर्या क्यों खुश है? आर्या भाई, वाई आर यू हैप्पी? सही आंसर दिया कि था क्या? ओहो, कॉन्ग्रेचुलेशंस. चलो ठीक है, सबको समझ में आ गया? गुड. Yes, Sam, there is no other option. Fine. If you would have been with me for all these sessions, you would have known from the very first day I have said only one thing, and there is only one thing that is going to help you, right? What is that? Elimination. You start eliminating, you would always get to your right answer. Okay? Or better option, as we saw yesterday, right? Next question, what is it? Rearrange the following. Okay, let's see. Okay, Parth, that was quick. Good. Arya. Sunan. Raghuraj. Kunal. Awesome, guys. Let's see. Now that everyone has said A, let's see whether it is working or not. Okay, Urara says D. Let's see. Let's check them first. Whenever this thing happens, what was the thing we decided? We decided whether to, first of all, we are going to eliminate on the basis of which one out of them is not working. Okay, so options are B, A, C. Three options are there. We'll read B. B says during the final stages of the crisis, officials impose strict restrictions on public communication. Now look at this, the final stages of crisis, it's not giving me a complete thought process, right? Though the sentence is complete, it might have another sentence which might be talking about that what kind of crisis was there or something before that final thing. So there might be a sentence coming before this, but then again, I'm not removing it right now because this can be a first sentence as well. Okay. Now let's see A. A says the idea was to prevent panic by controlling information flow. What idea? So this one, if I keep A and B, A can never be my first sentence because there has to be a crisis first and then the idea to panic, to control the panic, right? Which means A part goes away. If A part goes away, automatically B, D, C also strikes off. So which means B is over. We don't have it. We don't want it, right? Let's go to the C part. C, however, this strategy, okay, definitely not working. However is written across, however would come across and contradict a sentence before that, right? First, second thing, this strategy, which means the strategy might be coming before this, right? So again, C part not working. So C, B, A, D goes away, gone. Now we are left with B, A, C, D or B, C, A, D, right? During the final stages of the crisis, officials imposed strict restrictions on public communication, right? This was the first thought process. Let's go to the next one. Either way, it is going to be C or it is going to be A. The idea was to prevent panic. Okay. So, okay, the strict restrictions on public communications, right? This was why? Because the idea was to prevent panic by controlling. However, this strategy backfired. Which strategy? This is strict restriction. I could have gone across and I could have taken B and then C. But listen to this. If I take B and then C and then I try to put A, which is not going to work because A is what? Grouped with B, right? B, after B, we look at why this was happening, right? And then we talk about what went wrong. So that's why it is going to be B, A, C, D. A part is the right answer. Easy? Yes, Arya, good. Okay, Sam, tell me, have you understood? And Urhara, you also tell me. First of all, just let me know if you have understood, then we can start with this. Okay, fine. Good. Let's move on. Find the error. You need to tell me which part has the error and also you need to tell me what is wrong with that. What should have been the right answer? Yes, Sam, these questions do create the confusion and we have to see through them, okay? Okay, fine. So many people have answered. Let's see. Whenever I get an error question, always remember the very first thing that should be checked is verb. Verb is the very first thing because majorly it would be an, if I have a verb, what all problems we can have? We can have S, V, A, we have tense, right? And then the miscellaneous. What kind of miscellaneous can it be? It can be like as per type, you know, it can be subjunctive, right? Subjunctive, it can be optative, right? And then again, it can be conditional. So you need to see this, right? After verb, you should check the pronoun, prepositions, right? Then we have got conjunctions and then adverbs. Okay. Yeah, you can also check articles. So these are the major portions that you should check in this way, right? So let's look. Do we have a verb out here? So always remember, a sentence cannot be complete without a verb, so it has to have a verb, right? So where is verb? The verb is was willing, right? Then there is to approve the proposal without further revisions. That's it. Okay. Okay. Hi guy, I blame. Okay, fine. Hi blamer. Right, so we have all these options. Let's see. Now it is written as was willing. Willing is not working for me. The only thing that is working is was. I can check was for subject verb agreement, right? What is written before that? It is written as assistance. With assistance, it can be were. But then again, there are two subjects out here. One is the director, the other is assistance, right? And they are joined with nor. So this is a question which is actually following, which is catching hold of SVA as well as conjunction, right? So they are interlinked, right? Whenever we have got neither nor, how would that go about? It would actually catch hold of the nearest subject. And what is the nearest subject? The nearest subject is nor, right? So as per nor, his assistants will become the nearest for was, okay? And that's why with was, with assistants, we cannot have was, it has to be were, and this part is happening in B, so your answer is B. Fine. Error, I'll always tell you guys, try to find out what should have been the right answer. If you don't know what the right answer is, then remember, you will never be able to catch hold of the right answer, okay? Because then in that case, what you would be doing is, you would be just answering the question, but you don't know what is the answer. You're just picking up just out of you know, the blue, right? Don't do that, right? The verb will be according to the subject to. Yes, Sam, don't take it as subject to, take it as nearest subject, okay? Okay, hi Akshay. Fine, let's go on. Let's move on to the next one. Here. So this is actually a phrase improvement. They have underlined a part or given a bold of it, and you need to find out what is the error in that. If there is any error needed. If not, then you have to mark no improvement. Akshay says B, Sia says B, Par says B, Arya says A, Kunal says B, and Blamer says B. Okay. Okay, let's see. So this time they have underlined a certain part, so my story has to revolve with it, okay? But still I'm going to read the whole part. The professor argued that the new policies was so impractical. Now as soon as I see so, what happens? It tells me whether this so is a conjunction or it is an adverb, which one is it? So out here it is an adverb. Why? Because it is actually talking about impractical, right? So whenever we have so plus adjective, we cannot have any other but that, okay? One way to go about with this is this, okay? And moreover, there is another. If it is not so plus adjective, then we'll have as, something like this, right? So this is our thought process. Keeping that in mind, so plus 2 is definitely wrong, right? So plus 2 is not wrong, is completely wrong. It should not be taken. First part. Second part. Now let's see. First part is given across as too impractical to, right, too impractical to implement without significant revisions. Is A wrong? Is anything wrong with A? No, it is not. Why? Because it is using the proper pair. So I can keep it. Let's go to the next one. So impractical that it cannot be implemented without significant revisions. Now this part is also talking about the same thing. So which means I cannot remove this, and then again there is complete correct way of usage, so and that. Then it is so impractical as to not implement. So as to not implement is wrong grammar. We cannot use this. So we are left with A and B. Now which one is better out here? So last time we understood that it is not only about syntax or grammar, it is also about sense, parallelism, modifiers, concise writing, right? What is it? Concise writing. Do you remember the sentence we did? The thief was caught by the police. The thief was arrested by the police, or we would simply say the thief was arrested. So the answer would have been the thief was arrested, simply like that. Why is that? Why would I do something out here? Because we have already talked about the new policy, right? So do I have to add it cannot be implemented completely again? Right? Yeah. See, Kunal, we could write to be implemented, and we can also write too impractical to implement without significant revision. Even that is correct. Why? Because to implement out here is acting as an objective of what is to be done, right? Fine. So even that will work. Fine. But in this B part, it says it cannot be implemented without significant revisions, which is making it too long a sentence, because the new policy is already written out there. So I can actually make it concise by saying the professor argued that the new policy was too impractical to implement without significant revisions, right? So that's why A is a better option. A is concise. Yes, Arya. Yes. So you must be very happy right now, right, Arya? Fine. Kunal, have you understood? Okay, perfect. Cool. Let's go to the next one. I hope everyone has understood, everyone is getting the things that we are trying to do out here, and it is helping you to sharpen your skills, verbal skills, which is going to ultimately help you in cracking the paper shaper. Right, do it. What is the question about? It's a para summary thing. Okay. Yeah, Akshay, it can be both too impractical to be implemented is also right, and if I say too impractical to implement, fine, even that is correct, okay, because that is an acting as a objective verb, so I don't have to add another be in there, it can simply work out there. Okay, wow, nice going. Such quick answers. Good. Kunal says D. Parth says D. Sia says D. Okay. Sam says D. Blamer says D. Arya says D. Okay, fine. Let's see. Public debates about climate change often overlook. Okay, so there is a public debate. We are talking about that. Hello. Yeah. Public debate about climate change. So it is also about climate change. Often overlook a crucial factor. So it is overlooking something, right? Fine. What people do not respond to data alone. So they do not talk only about data. There are other things that they also talk about. Fine. Fine. Next part. While scientific reports outline risks in precise terms, individuals interpret them. So individuals interpret these risks through personal experience, cultural beliefs, and political identity. Okay. As a result, identical facts can lead different groups to reach entirely opposite conclusions. So what is going to happen is different groups, right, reach opposite conclusions, right? Effective communication, therefore, so they are talking about effective communications out here, requires acknowledging these psychological, so we need to acknowledge these psychological filters rather than assuming that more information will automatically shift public opinion. Okay, fine. More information would talk about data actually, right? So let's see which one can we go about with. A part says increasing the quantity of climate data is the best way to change public beliefs, which is totally in contradiction. So definitely it cannot be the summary. Climate change denial stems primarily from political groups that reject scientific evidence. It is going too specific talking about political groups, but we were not talking about only the political groups. It was talking about other groups as cultural beliefs and the experience wala, right? C part, scientific data often fails to accurately present. So this part is totally going in a different direction. It is giving us a new thought process that the data is not correct. So that way goes away. Let's go to D part. Climate communication must consider the cultural and psychological lenses through which people interpret information is the only option. Fine. So this is how you go about when you have a para-based question. This is how you go about when you don't have a para-based question, but any kind of multi-choice question, all you have to do is you need to keep on eliminating. Understood? Fine. Good guys, you're doing pretty good. Let's move ahead. What is it about? Okay. Oh, so there is a small paragraph given across and then there is a question. Fine. Somebody asked for an RC last time, right? So that's why what I did was, instead of giving a heavy RC, a big RC, what I've given across is small things and then there are questions out there so that you start working on understanding how to read those parts, right? So go on. Good. Speed is good. I like the speed. Yes, this is a nice speed we have out there. Good. Let's see. In the last 5 years, urban households have increasingly adopted digital payments. So what has happened? So we are talking about during some time. Okay. So urban households, we are talking about urban households. What have they done? They have adopted digital payment apps. Okay, fine. For everyday transactions. Surprisingly, however, so there's a however, ATM cash withdrawals have also shown steady growth during the same period, which means both the things have grown simultaneously, right? Then they say payment analysts argue that while digital modes have become popular, many consumers, so this is consumers that is many, right? Remember that, many. Many consumers still prefer to keep some cash on hand for situations where digital payment systems are inconvenient or unreliable. So this is basically, the sentence itself is a what? This sentence itself is the summary, right? So let's see which of the following is the most reasonable inference. Many a time what would happen is when you are reading the thing, you might not draw an inference straight away, right? But yes, you know the key points of the RC or the passage or the paragraph, whatever is given across to you, right? So the best deal out there would be that whatever happens has to remain in the theme, has to have the same ideation, aligned with the passage. That's it. Anything that is not aligned, what is to be done? Eliminated. Understood? So let's see. Which of the following is the most reasonable inference? The first one says digital payments have failed to reduce cash usage in cities, right? Digital payments have failed to reduce cash usage in cities. Why can't I keep the A part? What is the problem with A? Maybe A is the answer. What can be the reason behind it? Why would you remove this? Extreme point, okay. What is extreme out here? Nothing is extreme. It says have failed to reduce. So it is not about removing it, replacing it anyway, right? So it is not extreme, not at all extreme. But the thing is, was digital payment started to reduce cash usage in the cities? Was it? So the data is not given, right? So that's why for that time moment, maybe you have some kind of a confusion out here. So we can keep this for some moments. Let's read the next one. B part says urban consumers use both cash and digital payments depending on the situation. This is something you can easily understand, right? The complete thing was given across out here in the last line. Many consumers still prefer to keep some cash on hand for situations where digital payment systems are inconvenient or unreliable, right? So this B part definitely has to stay. C part says ATM withdrawals increase whenever digital payments increase. No, we cannot come across to this inference. Definitely it does not, because this says whenever, which is like the data is not given across to us, right? Okay, what about the D part? Cash is still the most preferred mode. The most preferred mode. Now this is called as extreme, right? This is called as extreme, which means that D part cannot be my answer. Now I have to choose from A and B. So there is only one option which is more like, aligned to the passage, rather than going across on a thought process, on an inference which is not has not been verified, has not been justified, or anything has not been written for it in this paragraph. So my answer should be A. Digital payments have, oh sorry, not A. The answer has to be B, right? The right answer is B. Fine. Has everyone understood? Is it lagging? Is it fine now, or is it still lagging? हाँ, कोई नहीं आ रहा, कभी कभी डर लेना चाहिए. It did, but now fine. It's fine now. It's enough now. Okay, okay, ठीक है. चलो आगे चलते हैं. Let's go to the next one. Oh my God, फिर से. So we have got double fillers. Try it out. और ठीक है सैम भाई, कोई नहीं, हो जाता है कभी कभी. या आर्या कहीं ना कहीं मार्क्स तो कटने हैं ना भाई. So Arya, you have two options. Either way, you are going to do this question or you are going to like, you know, skip it. So whatever you feel like, you have to just write it out here. Okay, so many people have answered. Let's see what is it. ठीक है. आर्या, आपने साइड बाय साइड मेरे को बताना है. ठीक है, ध्यान देना. मुझे ये वाला वर्ड नहीं पता. अनटेनेंटेड, आई डोंट नो. एंड प्लाइंट, कोई इनमें से वर्ड पता है? अगर नहीं भी पता है, डू वी नो एनीथिंग दैट वी कैन कम अक्रॉस विद प्लाइंट? Tenable means defendable and dubious is doubtful. Yes. Very good. Compliant. तो अगर मैं किसी के साथ comply कर रहा हूं या I'm a compliant guy, what would it be? What can it be? The person is quite compliant. The person is quite pliant, right? So उस केस में मेरे को ये बताओ, whether it is a positive word or a negative word. Pliant is a positive word or a negative word? Good, Akshay. And who was it? Hammer. Yes. Hammer, look at this. Pliant is a positive word or a negative word in that case? So in that case, yes. So this is positive, right? Okay. What is benign? I don't know what is dubious. Look at this, benign. What is benign? Positive or negative? Arya, positive or negative? Benign. How do I know it is positive? Why do I say it is positive? Why is it positive? Tell me. Because of ben. Yes, very good, Arya. So ben is written across. Ben is beneficent and benefit and all that stuff. So this is also a positive word. What is the next one? Tangible. What is tangible? What is tangible? Something real. Very good. I'll take that. Something real, something physical, something which is there, which means if it is there, I can see it. If I can see it, it means it can easily be justified, right? So tangible is again a positive word. Any problem out here? Okay. Let's read the sentence. The panel found his claims both statistically dash and ethically dash, prompting a re-evaluation. The sentence is positive or negative? Is it positive or negative? It's a negative sentence. Very good, Kunal. Why is it a negative sentence? Because they say prompting a re-evaluation. Why would you re-evaluate? You would only re-evaluate when you feel that there is a problem out there, right? Which means these positive words cannot be my answer, right? So the by what? By default, the answer is tenable and dubious. Okay. What is dubious? What is dubious? dubious is something to do with doubtful, right? Doubtful, okay? So ethically doubtful, definitely working. Tenable, statistically defensible, which means like whatever he did, whatever claims he made, he strategized the whole thing so that any questions asked, he can actually give the answer to it. But it was ethically doubtful, understood? So that's why we have got tenable and dubious, right? Okay, fine. Let's do the other words. Which are they? The first one is untenanted. Untenanted. So if you remove un, what is left? We are left with tenant, right? Tenant means what? Tenant is what? A person occupying or living in some place, right? That can be tenanted, right? Untenanted would be what? Unoccupied, right? So untenanted, which means it's a vacant place or something like that, right? Let's go to the next word. Pliant. What is pliant? Someone who can easily be molded. Fine. Okay. Can easily be molded or influenced. Can be pliant. Okay. Next word. So we already know what is tenable. Tenable is something which is defensible, right? Dubious means doubtful. What is the next word? Stentorian. At the party, I could not stay long as it was stentorian and I cannot hear it anymore. Yes, see, gullible can be a synonym of pliant. Yes. So that makes pliant what kind of a word? Rather a neutral word, right? So at times we need things to be easily molded, and at times being molded is negative, right? Sir, tenable कैसे fit हो रहा है? Please explain. ठीक है आर्या. The thing is that statistically, अगर मैं statistically यहाँ पे बात करूँ तो मतलब क्या हुआ? कुछ डेटा के साथ और कुछ बाकी चीज़ों के साथ कैसा है? डिफेंसिबल है, राइट? लेकिन आगे क्या लिखा हुआ है? एथिकली वो क्या है? डाउटफुल है. तो मतलब स्टैटिस्टिक्स वाइज अगर मैं बात करूं तो इट इज़ एक्चुअली वर्किंग एज डिफेंसिबल. whoever the person giving the presentation might be actually giving the right answer as per the statistics, as per the data. But what is the other word? The other word is ethically. Ethically जब बात हो रही है तो ethically के साथ doubtful आ रहा है, which is the only one that is making it very negative, right? हाँ, क्योंकि हमारे यहाँ पर ऐसा नहीं कह रहे कि वो बट करके बात नहीं कर रहे हैं. स्टैटिस्टिकली जस्टिफिएबल का मतलब क्या हुआ कि स्टैटिस्टिकली तो हो रहा है सही, है ना, एंड एथिकली जब हम बात करते हैं तो वो डाउटफुल हो रहा है, ठीक है ना. तो यहाँ पे स्टैटिस्टिकली कोई चीज़ अगर सही हो रही है तो इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? इसका मतलब ये भी तो हो सकता है दैट द पर्सन एक्चुअली स्ट्रेटेजिकली scripted the whole thing, which means he actually falsified the documents, right? So that is again document सही है, मतलब वो पॉजिटिव है या नहीं है? नहीं है ना. ऐसे लग रहा है कि उसने जानबूझ के सारी की सारी स्क्रिप्टिंग बनाई है जिससे कि हर चीज़ परफेक्ट लगे. सो दैट इज़ अगेन नेगेटिव, राइट? बिकॉज विच मीन्स ही इज हाइडिंग द ट्रुथ. तो देयरफॉर दिस पार्ट विल ऑल्सो बी टेकन एज अ नेगेटिव टोन. मे बी नॉट नेगेटिव वर्ड्स बट अ नेगेटिव टोन. ठीक है. What is the way of becoming good in vocab? Okay. See guys, one way is like reading as much as possible. जब आप पढ़ोगे तो क्या होगा? You will come across new words, write them down with you, or else you can go across and start working on Lucent, as I have said earlier. Lucent उठाओ और उसमें से questions करना शुरू करो. Whatever words you don't know, the options as well as the words, keep on writing them in your register. and after that just work it out. Okay, ठीक है ठीक है ठीक है ठीक है, ओके। हाँ जी, और कोई वर्ड जो हमारे को नहीं पता? हाँ, स्टेंटोरियन क्या होता है? व्हाट इज स्टेंटोरियन? स्टेंटोरियन इज अ लाउड नॉइस, ठीक है, बहुत ज़्यादा आवाज़ हो रही है तो इट वुड बी कॉल्ड एज स्टेंटोरियन. I use online flashcards. Yeah, Arya, you can do that as well. Whatever works for you, that is the whole thing. Word Power Made Easy can teach you the roots, but it is not going to help you overall. Word Power, the book which was made, was created, okay, Norman Lewis. He actually wanted people to be good with their vocabulary for speaking, right? So that you can impress people. But he never created a book for entrances, and therefore we should not, completely depend on it that it can help us. Okay, newspaper or questions? I would always prefer questions, Sam. Newspaper you can read, but then in that case whatever new words you come across with, you just have to write them down, ठीक है. Newspaper helps you to understand. अगर आपने editorial पढ़ा, if you read editorials, what is going to happen is you are going to learn about different structures of sentences that are used. अब जैसे ये वाला sentence देख लो, the sentence, it does not have a negative thought process anywhere, right? The only thing that was given across out there, the re-evaluation told me that it was negative. But then again, when I was writing these words, somehow, except for dubious, nothing else was working for me, right? So that's why these can be a bit difficult, right? Google Words Coach, yes, Akshay, as I said, anything that works for you, right? Should we try full on for vocab or will we get confused till 13 December? Himmer, don't try it right now, ठीक है? Full vocab पे मत जाना, क्योंकि full vocab कभी आता भी नहीं है आपके पेपर में, है ना? हिंदू के एडिटोरियल्स बेटर हैं कि इंडियन एक्सप्रेस? एनीथिंग विल वर्क कुणाल, दैट टोटली डिपेंड्स, ठीक है. एडिटोरियल जितने की जहाँ जहाँ से मिल सकते हैं वो सारे कर लो. व्हाट वाज दैट बुक यू प्रेफर्ड? अक्षय, इट वाज लुसेंट. आई विल जस्ट राइट इट इन द चैट सो दैट इट वर्क्स फॉर यू. ठीक है, लुसेंट है जनरल इंग्लिश, सो इट विल हैव ऑल दी वर्ड्स इन देम, ठीक है ना. क्वेश्चंस बेस्ड ऑन सिनोनिम्स, एंटोनिम्स, तो आपके पास बहुत सारा एरे ऑफ वर्ड्स आ जाएंगे. देन व्हाट यू कैन डू इज़ यू कैन स्टार्ट लर्निंग फ्रॉम देयर इफ़ यू वांट, ठीक है. वैसे बताने के लिए बता देता हूँ कि लर्निंग का कोई फ़ायदा नहीं है, ठीक है ना. लर्निंग करने का कोई फ़ायदा नहीं है. वाई? बिकॉज इफ़ यू ट्राई टू लर्न यू विल नॉट बी एबल टू रिटेन इट, ठीक है. सो इट इज़ मोर टूवर्ड्स हाउ टू यूज़ इट. अगर आप उसके साथ कोई निमोनिक्स लगा सकते हो, काम कर सकते हो, तब जाकर वो काम करेगा, वरना वो नहीं काम करेगा. अंडरस्टूड? सो इसीलिए हम उस पर ना करें तो वो ज़्यादा बेटर है. लेट्स हैव अनदर वर्ड. व्हाट इज इट? इट इज़ डी पार्ट विच इज़ रडी. रडी मीन्स व्हाट? द रडी अर्थ, ठीक है ना. तो अर्थ मतलब रेड, रेडिश. द कलर इज रेड. ओके, सो इट इज़ टॉकिंग अबाउट द रेड कलर. समथिंग विच इज़ वेरी रेड और समथिंग लाइक रेडिश वुड बी कॉल्ड एज रेडिश, ठीक है. रूडी. चलो नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन चलते हैं. द वर्ड्स हैव बीन गिवन अक्रॉस टू यू. What is it? ठीक है. Which sentence follows? Yeah, loosen general English. Grammar के लिए what do you suggest? I'm really bad in that. Grammar. Grammar, you can take up SP Bakshi. Fine. Try from there. That would work for you. Okay. Arya, Kunal and Parth are giving me the same answer. Hemmer, you wanted to change your answer. Okay, okay, ठीक है. Others, Sia. Okay, Sam with D. Why Sam? Why would you go across with D? Why do you think so? See, whenever you are practicing, always remember that no matter what happens, take your time. Whenever you're doing a reading, take your time. But the understanding of that reading is very important. If you're doing it wrong, if you're getting it wrong, then remember there is some problem. Okay, fine. Many people have answered. Let's see what is it. Urban planners argue, so we are talking about urban planners, they are arguing about something, that the biggest barrier, okay, we are talking about barrier to sustainable cities is not lack of technology, so not lack of technology, but a lack of coordinated political will. Fine. Tell me what is the meaning of, okay, fine. Sam, can you just tell me what is coordinated? What does it mean, coordinated? Anyone who can tell me what is coordinated? So coordination can also be called as what? Collaboration, right? Sync, very good, Hammer. So coordination, quad set पहनते हम, yeah? A trend, quad set. What is quad set? As a team, yes, very good. Fine. So keep that in mind. Let's see. Sam, let's see. Many innovative solutions already exist. So there are many solutions, right? Because this is talking about sustainable cities and we are talking about planning. So there might be plenty of plannings. We can take that. Many innovative solutions already exist, but they remain fragmented. What is fragmented? Which means they are divided, right? They are separated, okay, across departments. So different departments, they have got different things. Someone is doing something, the other one is doing something else. That seldom collaborate effectively. And seldom means what? Rarely collaborate effectively. And like it's next to never when they what? When they collaborate, okay? So what was written out there? Lack of coordinated political will. ठीक है? Departments किसके हो गए? Departments आपके political departments हो गए, right? And collaborate, seldom collaborate, which means that lack है coordination का. A part does not go. A part has to stay. Let's see. You said D. Let's read it. But I'll just write down B first. This is why renewable energy sources have become the focal point of municipal reform discussion worldwide. Definitely not working for me. God bless me. Let's see. C part. Historically, cities grew without any form of centralized governance, which explains the lack of coherent infrastructure. Nope, not talking about infrastructure at all, right? So what is D part? D part says critics believe, so critics are the people, the urban planners, right? Maybe. That political will cannot be measured objectively. Now tell me, Sam, what kind of will are we talking about? Right? Arre, wow, got the picture, right? ठीक है. So political will बहुत ज़्यादा random बात कर रहा है. Making it an unreliable factor in planning studies. ठीक है. So we never talked about like political will क्या है क्या नहीं है, whether it is talking about the same thing. तो इसलिए D part तो नहीं हो सकता. The answer has to be A. Easy? ठीक है. Let's go to the next one. Where is it? What is it? The sequence. Two people have answered. कुणाल जी, दूसरों के आंसर देखकर आपने भी अपना आंसर चेंज किया, और अगर सारे गलत हुए तो? सैम भैया ने देखो अलग से आंसर दिया। चलो ठीक है, लेट्स सी, it's either going to be C or it is going to be B, right? That's the thought process. So let's read B. Data-driven forecasting models have become increasingly popular among policymakers. ठीक है जी, this can definitely be a first sentence. C part says their appeal lies. We cannot take this as first one. There is simply telling us whose appeal, we don't know. So A and B are out. ठीक है, so we are left with B A C D and B C A D. So the only thing that is to be done is either way it is going to be B A C or it is going to be B C A, and D is already fixed that it is there. So गलती से C बोल दिया था, बोलना यही था even if it is wrong. अच्छा ठीक है bro, let's see. What does it say? B के बाद C आएगा या A आएगा? अब देखो ध्यान से, A में हमारे को दिख रहा है that there is a but out here, right? But means it has to be a contradiction. What kind of contradiction? But without proper validation, these tools often yield misleading interpretation. So this is talking about if there is no validation, these tools would provide me with misleading things. So this is something talking about a negative thought process, right? अब अगर इसमें नेगेटिव थॉट प्रोसेस है एंड वी हैव गॉट बी एंड सी विद अस, तो क्या करें इसके अंदर, कैसे पकड़े, किसको पहले पकड़ें? सो बी हमारे पास आ गया, एक बी was a positive thought process. After that I can definitely write down A, no problem with that, no problem with that. But in that case, look at this, their appeal lies in the seeming objectivity of numerical predictions. Appeal, what is appeal out here? Is it appeal like appeal मान जाओ भैया मान जाओ वैसे वाला appeal, या फिर the appeal as in charisma? ठीक है, why they look, why are everyone, why is it popular, right? So that is their appeal. Fine, okay. तो यहाँ पर C भी है, that is a positive sentence, right? So what I can do is either way I can write B A and then I write C, and I can write B and then I can write C and then I can write A. ठीक है, इसके अंदर देख लेते हैं कि कैसे होगा. B is positive, right? A is negative and C is positive. ठीक है, नेक्स्ट पार्ट, बी के बाद ए आ सकता है, क्यों आ सकता है? क्योंकि ए में क्या लगा हुआ है, बट लगा हुआ है, तो बट लगने की वजह से पॉजिटिव के बाद नेगेटिव आ गया, वेरी गुड. लेकिन जब मैं ए से सी में ट्रांजिशन करूंगा, व्हेन आई वुड ट्रांजिशन फ्रॉम ए टू सी, राइट, व्हाट वुड हैपन देन? हाउ वुड आई डू दैट? फ्रॉम ए टू सी, हाउ कैन आई गो अक्रॉस? बिकॉज देर इज नो, क्या, देर इज नो ट्रांजिशन आउट हियर. तो जब यहाँ पे ट्रांजिशन ही नहीं है तो मैं ए से सी कैसे जाऊँ? तो इसका मतलब ये वाला काम तो नहीं कर रहा. अब यहाँ देखते हैं, बी के बाद सी आ रहा है, राइट? बी के बाद सी अगर आ रहा है, बी इज पॉजिटिव, सी इज पॉजिटिव, आई डोंट नीड एनी ट्रांजिशन आउट हियर, राइट? I can directly write a positive sentence after a positive sentence or a negative sentence after a negative sentence. So these two are positive and then I write but and then I say negative, right? So is it possible? This one is better? Yes. So this is the proper transition channel and therefore where is it? It is D part, which is B, C, A, D. Yo! यार एक तो मेरे को ये इमोजी समझ में नहीं आती, ये गंदे वाली शक्ल वाले. Positive will be with positive. Yes. So, Sam, समझ में आ गया भाई? ठीक है. Good. Let's move ahead. आर्या आपको समझ में, oh sorry, अक्षय आपको समझ में आ गया ना? Why is it not C but D? Sam, sir, I'm learning with each question. Very good, Sam, and that is the best learning curve that you should follow. Okay? Keep on learning every time. ठीक है? कोई टेंशन ही नहीं है. And I've already provided my number to you people. You can also share your questions with me. Any kind of question regarding to verbal, you can ask me. I'll be there. I don't know, Kunal. All those who are not yet subscribed with iQuanta can subscribe us and follow us for these messages, notifications, and the videos, because we keep on providing with all these free content for you people so that you can just go through it and study, right? I'll just give it to you. Okay, so we also have some mocks out here, so you can go to our site and you can check them. Yeah. Right, Sam, why D, Hammer, why C, Parth, why B, Kunal has given his reason. Let's see. See, when we go across with, this kind of a thought process, right? What really happens is, आधे से ज़्यादा टाइम तो हम फीलिंग में कर जाते हैं ये पेपर, है ना? We just keep on feeling about this kind of a question, ठीक है? एरर बेस्ड क्वेश्चन हुआ, हमारे अंदर फील आ जाता है कि भाई सुनने में अच्छा लग रहा है, दिखने में बुरा लग रहा है, यहाँ पर गड़बड़ लग सकती है, ऐसा कुछ होता है, राइट? But in such a way, if we actually do the questions in this way, what is going to happen is our accuracy will never come, right? So accuracy अगर हो रहा है, accuracy को अगर पकड़ना है, तो उसका best तरीका क्या है? You have to know the grammar. The very first thing, syntax, right? Let's see. Okay, Sam. The report highlights several issues. तो पहले तो इस वाले पार्ट को चेक करो. Highlights क्या है यहाँ पे? Verb है. वर्ब का SVA चेक करते हैं. रिपोर्ट इज सिंगुलर, तो सिंगुलर के साथ हाईलाइट्स एस ही आएगा, तो ये वाला पार्ट सही है, आपका चेक हो गया. क्या? ये वाला पार्ट. हाईलाइट्स व्हाट? सेवरल इश्यूज, ठीक है, पर्टेनिंग विद द मिसयूज ऑफ कॉन्फिडेंशियल डेटा, ठीक है. नाउ दिस काइंड ऑफ अ क्वेश्चन इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर यू, राइट? व्हाई? बिकॉज दीज आर कॉल्ड एज प्रेपोजिशन बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस. What is it? Preposition based questions. और preposition आपको पता होना चाहिए कि कहाँ से क्या आएगा, ठीक है? तो हमेशा याद रखना, whenever we are talking about pertaining या pertain के साथ with नहीं आ सकता, ठीक है? कभी भी नहीं आ सकता. क्या आता है उसके साथ भाई? Yes, it has to be to. So pertaining to the misuse of confidential data, and therefore the error is in B. प्रेपोजिशन का एरर भयंकर एरर है, बहुत ध्यान से इसको पकड़ के रखना है वरना ये नहीं हो पाएगा। समझ में आ गया? ध्यान देना इसका। सी पार्ट में क्या लिखा हुआ था? कॉन्फिडेंशियल डेटा ड्यूरिंग द टेस्टिंग फेज। ये तो सही है, तो इसमें कोई एरर नहीं है। ठीक है गाइस, राइट? ओके, मूव ऑन। This one is not underlined, but you can see that lacking both clarity as well as accuracy is your what? The part in bold. So you need to check that whether it is correct or not. What do you say? This method is good because we're getting a chance to go through different type of questions all at once, right? If you want me to change, just let me know. Okay, fine. So we'll go across with this only. Sam, that's a nice English expression you said. It is quite a good method. Very good. Kunal, confused between A or D. Okay, D says no improvement. Okay, Kunal, fine. What should be the point of concern out here? What should be concerned? What should we be concerned about? What should we keep our eye open for? Look at that part which is underlined and tell me what should we look at. Okay, Arya says D. Part says B. Okay, okay, fine. Tell me what is important in this line, in that phrase? Both, very good. So let's see. The findings of the study were criticized for lacking. So it was criticized, which means that whatever was there, there has to be what? Some kind of problem with the thing, right? Okay. For lacking, okay. So if it is lacking, which is a negative tone thing, if it is a negative tone, then the words A and B have to be positive. They have to be positive, right? Only then the whole sentence can actually in total will become negative, right? Now look at this, lacking both clarity. Clarity is a positive word, I'll take that. Accuracy is a positive word, I'll take that because lacking them makes it negative. Easy, first part done. Okay, now let's come across. What is the next thing that is to be checked? The word is given across as both. Both is what? When both is used for A with B, so always remember, बीच में the word has to be and. ठीक है, अब इसको देखकर एलिमिनेट करना शुरू करो. Everyone has understood the answer cannot be no improvement. Why? Because I cannot use as well as with both. So this part is totally wrong. है ना, ये वाला part तो गलत है, right? So हमें पक्का पता है कि as well as तो नहीं आ सकता इसके अंदर. ठीक है, now look out there. D part मैंने हटा दिया. Now think and tell me which one would be your answer. Why not B? Why not B? B also has and. B also has and, then why am I not using B? बहुत बढ़िया कुणाल, वेरी गुड वेरी गुड, यस. सो व्हाट हैज हैपेंड, अब यहाँ पे सी वाला पार्ट देखते हैं. लैकिंग क्लैरिटी बट लैकिंग एक्यूरेसी टू. लैकिंग क्लैरिटी, अब ये क्या हो गया, दिस इज नॉट अ पैरेलल स्ट्रक्चर. स्ट्रक्चर ही गलत है ना. दो बार करके लैकिंग लिख दिया तो फिर कंसाइज नहीं है ना. तो फिर ये वाला पार्ट तो खत्म हो गया, राइट. ऑन द अदर हैंड बी पार्ट सेज लैकिंग बोथ क्लैरिटी एंड ऑल्सो एक्यूरेसी. ये भी हो सकता था, लेकिन गलती कहाँ पे हो गई, ऑल्सो. जब हमने एंड बोल ही दिया, वाई डू वी हैव टू, इट बिकम्स रिडंडेंट, राइट. तो इसीलिए बी पार्ट गॉन. नाउ आउट हियर लैकिंग नॉट ओनली क्लैरिटी बट ऑल्सो एक्यूरेसी, इट हैज यूज्ड the pair of conjunction correctly, which is not only and but also, right. Not only and but also, they are clearly used in the right way, and that is why A has to be the right answer. Understood? सबको समझ में आ गया? ठीक है, good. Let's move on to the next question. Okay, Kunal, Arya, reading speed is going good. That is nice. Parth, very good. All we have to check whether the answer is correct or not. Just 3 people answered. Okay, let's start with this. Let's read. किस किस को रीडिंग की प्रॉब्लम है भैया, वो भी बता दो. ठीक है. हेमर हैज़ गिवन द आंसर बट इट टुक लॉन्ग. हेमर, राइट. सैम, अभी तक आंसर नहीं आया है भाई. ठीक है. एंड सिया जी कहाँ हो? Right, let's read. What is it? Modern workplaces increasingly emphasize collaboration. Modern workplace की बात हो रही है, emphasize करते हैं किस पे? Collaboration. Yet many teams, yet आ गया बीच में, many teams struggle to function. Teams struggle, ठीक है, to function effectively. The problem rarely lies in the technical ability. Problem rarely क्या? Technical abilities of members, but in subtle interpersonal dynamics. It is in the interpersonal dynamics. Interpersonal आपस में, ठीक है ना, the way they communicate and all that. Such as unequal participation. So there is unequal participation, unspoken tension and unclear expectations, right? हर चीज़ ही unclear है इनका, ठीक है. These issues undermine trust and lead. So what happens? Trust undermine हो जाता है. Undermine मतलब goes down. You don't trust everyone or anyone, ठीक है ना. Okay, आगे चलते हैं. अनस्पोकन, आगे कहाँ, एंड लीड टू कोऑर्डिनेशन फेलियर्स. तो क्या हो जाता है उसका, व्हाट इज द एंड रिजल्ट? कोऑर्डिनेशन फेलियर्स. सक्सेसफुल टीम्स देयरफॉर आर दोज. सो मतलब अगर सक्सेसफुल टीम होना है तो क्या होगा? दोज दैट कॉन्शियसली कल्टिवेट नॉर्म्स ऑफ कम्युनिकेशन एंड साइकोलॉजिकल safety rather than relying solely on individual competence. सिंपल एज दैट, कहानी इतनी आसान थी कि हम आराम से ये क्वेश्चन निकाल सकते थे। ए पार्ट, टीम्स फेल मेनली ड्यू टू लैक ऑफ टेक्निकल एक्सपर्टीज, टोटली आउट ऑफ स्कोप है, कॉन्ट्राडिक्टरी है रादर, बिकॉज इट द प्रॉब्लम रियरली लाइज इन द टेक्निकल एबिलिटीज। तो वो तो कह रहे हैं, तो ये ड्यू टू लैक ऑफ टेक्निकल एक्सपर्टीज तो हो नहीं सकता, राइट। सो ए पार्ट गोज अवे एज इजी एज दैट। B part says the key to effective teams lies in establishing strong interpersonal norms and psychological safety, which was clearly mentioned in the last line. अब ये तुम्हारे को हेल्प कैसे करेगा? ये जो अभी ये वाला क्वेश्चन किया, ये आगे जाकर किसी और चीज़ में भी आपको मदद कर सकता है क्या? Of course it can. It can help you to do these questions which are based on para summary. Definitely they would. But other than that, when you have questions coming across from what kind? Coming across from the questions like, you know, RC based questions, right? They ask you about a theme. Maybe they ask you about some kind of purpose, tone, structure, and all these things. So it would become easier for you to find out what exactly, which line is helpful for me. अब अगर थीम की बात हो रही है, सेंट्रल आइडिया की बात हो रही है, तो जनरली दैट कैन एक्चुअली बी फाउंड टुवर्ड्स द एंड। तो जो कंक्लूसिव पैराग्राफ होगा, ठीक है, द लास्ट पैराग्राफ विल बी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, राइट, एंड टुवर्ड्स द एंड ऑफ एवरी पैराग्राफ, वट एवर पैराग्राफ इज गिवन अक्रॉस, उसका लास्ट का लाइन, लास्ट के 2 लाइन वो बहुत ध्यान से पढ़ लेना, जिससे कि आपको समझ में आए, बिकॉज इट माइट बी यू नो इट माइट बी कंक्लूडिंग द होल पैराग्राफ, ठीक है, तो आपके लिए वो बहुत ज़रूरी है, ठीक है। तो ये सब हमारी मदद कर सकते हैं। आगे पढ़ने की ज़रूरत है क्या, देखते हैं। कोलैबोरेशन इज़ ओवररेटेड, ओला, ये तो शुरू में ही ख़राब कर दिया इन्होंने। कोऑर्डिनेशन फेलियर्स अकर बिकॉज एम्प्लॉयज़ डू नॉट अंडरस्टैंड देयर रोल्स। इट इज़ नॉट अबाउट देयर रोल्स, इट इज़ बेसिकली अबाउट हाउ दे work with others, right? So simply D part also goes away, C part goes away. The only answer which is possible is B part. Very good. Let's go to the next one. Yeah. यस कुणाल, वो तो रहेगा। बड़े वाले पैसेजेस जो हैं उनको हम धीरे धीरे स्ट्रॉन्ग करेंगे, एंड व्हाट वुड हैपन इन दैट इज वी वुड क्लियरली गेट अ पिक्चर ऑफ हाउ टू गो अबाउट विद देम, ठीक है। कई बार पढ़ लिया, ओके, मीनिंगफुल कंक्लूजन नहीं निकल आए, ठीक है। कुणाल, व्हाट यू डू इज, क्लास 11th याद है? क्लास 11th में एक क्वेश्चन हुआ करता था इंग्लिश का विच वॉज नोट मेकिंग, ठीक है ना। तो वो नोट मेकिंग की तरह एवरी लाइन यू रीड, यू जस्ट राइट डाउन व्हाट इज़ द टॉपिक इट इज़ कवरिंग, ठीक है। और एक ऐसा लाइन उसमें ये आ जाएगा जो कि बाकी सारे लाइन को कवर कर रहा है, तो यू कैन ऑल्सो राइट कंक्लूजन। सो यू विल ऑलवेज रिमेंबर दैट ओके फाइन, दिस लाइन वॉज टॉकिंग अबाउट कंक्लूजन। सो इन दैट केस इवन इफ़ यू हैव टू गो बैक टू रीड, तो आपको मतलब ऐसा नहीं करना पड़ेगा कि बहुत सारा रीड करना है ना, धीरे धीरे पढ़ सकते हो उसे और यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड कि क्या हो सकता है, राइट। आराम से उसको पढ़ सकते हो, सारा नहीं पढ़ना है। द ओनली पार्ट जहाँ पर आपने उसका टॉपिक लिखा है कंक्लूजन, सिर्फ आप उसी को पढ़ोगे, है ना, उस केस में। ओके, पार्थ, कुणाल एंड आर्या हैव गिवन आंसर्स। रेस्ट ऑफ यू, व्हाट हैज़ हैपेंड? सैम भैया, not good with the RCs. Are you? Sir, grammar कैसे improve करूँ? I'm really bad in it. Arya, I just said you can go across with this thing. SP बख्शी ले लो और उसमें से पढ़ लो भाई, ठीक है? Okay, let's see. Many modern productivity tools, so we are talking about productivity tools, promise efficiency through automation. So efficiency, automation, through automation. But research indicates that constant reliance on such tools weakens users' ability to plan and prioritize independently. Constant reliance on tools weakens ability, whose ability? Users' ability to plan and prioritize इंडिपेंडेंटली, राइट? देखो कितना ज़्यादा ऐसे लग रहा है कि हाँ सब कुछ उठाकर हमने एक बारी में बात कर दिया है ना, ठीक है? तो ये वाला कवर, ये इंपॉर्टेंट लाइन हो गया हमारे लिए, है ना? आगे देखते हैं. ओवर टाइम इंडिविजुअल्स बिगिन टू आउटसोर्स इवन सिंपल कॉग्निटिव टास्क. सो क्या हो रहा है, ये हमारे को बता रहा है कि क्या प्रॉब्लम क्या फेस हो रही है, राइट? व्हाट इज इट दैट विद टाइम या ओवर टाइम व्हाट इज हैपनिंग, इंडिविजुअल्स क्या कर रहे हैं, वो आउटसोर्स कर रहे हैं, खुद नहीं कर रहे हैं, आउटसोर्स कर रहे हैं इवन सिंपल कॉग्निटिव टास्क. हल्के से हल्का काम जो है, जहाँ पे थोड़ा बहुत आपका एफिशिएंसी ज़रूरत था या स्किल ज़रूरत था, वो भी आपने क्या कर दिया, आगे भेज दिया. लाइक रिमेंबरिंग डेडलाइंस और सॉर्टिंग ईमेल्स. हमने ईमेल्स भी उसी पे छोड़ दिया, ऑटोमेशन पे छोड़ दिया, राइट? हमने डेडलाइंस भी किस पे छोड़ दिया, ऑटोमेशन पे छोड़ दिया, टू सॉफ्टवेयर, राइट? Although the tools reduce effort in the short term, they create subtle dependencies that ultimately diminishes the user's capacity for autonomous decision making. Autonomous self, khud se, right? Which option summarizes? Productivity tools simplify work but subtly erode users' independence cognitive abilities. Clearly mentioned, right? It is explicit out here. So I can definitely keep A. B says automation enhances efficiency only when used sparingly for simple tasks. दिस पार्ट वॉज नॉट गिवन अक्रॉस टू यू, है ना? ये हमारे को दिया ही नहीं हुआ है, हमारे को तो ऑप्शंस दिए हुए हैं, तो फिर ये तो खत्म हो गया. स्पारिंगली यूज भी नहीं कर रहे, उल्टा हमने देखा विद टाइम इट इज एवरीवन इज वर्किंग, एवरीथिंग इज गेटिंग आउटसोर्स, ठीक है? पीपल शुड अवॉइड डिजिटल टूल्स ऑल टुगेदर टू प्रिजर्व मेंटल स्ट्रेंथ. ना पीपल शुड अवॉइड, ऐसे वाला थॉट प्रोसेस, ऐसा शुड या सजेशन तो कुछ दिया ही नहीं हुआ था. सो डेफिनेटली दिस कैन नॉट बी माई थिंग. Productivity tools fail because they cannot manage complex planning tasks. एकदम ही उल्टा हो रहा है, तो इसको छोड़ देते हैं. What is the answer? The answer is A. Easy as that. Has everyone understood? Sir, grammar कैसे improve करूँ? Really bad in it. Like हर पैरा का पहले ही खुद से कंक्लूजन एंड टोन समराइज कर लें एंड जब आए तो ईजी हो जाएगा. Yes, Kunal, we can do that. Sir, would note making be efficient in IPMAT, especially in IPMAT Indore? Yes, Parth, you would be provided with a question paper as in a rough sheet, and you can always write down all the rough sheets whatever you have. वहाँ पे जो भी दिया होगा, आप जब पढ़ रहे होगे तो उसके साथ साथ जल्दी जल्दी लिख लेना, ठीक है ना? बिकॉज देयर इज़ नॉट मच टाइम. हाँ ठीक है, अभी भी से प्रैक्टिस करोगे तो तब तक आदत हो जाएगी, एंड देन not necessarily that you have to go back and start reading मतलब those points, or you don't have to even make the points because you would know कि उसमें मेरे को करना क्या है. समझ में आ रहा है ना? तो हम उसके बगैर भी कर सकते हैं, ठीक है? राइट. सो एवरीवन यहीं तक ही रखते हैं आज का. आप सबसे पहले ये दिमाग में रख लो कि व्हाट इज़ टू बी डन नाउ, ठीक है? लेके बस पेन जाना होता है. हाँ, पेन लेकर जाना, लेकिन वो ट्रांसपेरेंट सा होता है. ट्रांसपेरेंट पेन लेकर जाना भैया, वरना वो पेन भी वो रख लेते हैं अपने पास, ठीक है ना? हाँ जी. तो अभी जो भी आगे करने हैं नेक्स्ट क्लास में फिर से हम इसी को लेंगे, थोड़ा सा लेवल और बढ़ा देंगे एंड एवरीथिंग. मुझे ये बताओ कि व्हाट ऑल डू यू नीड, आई विल ट्राई टू प्रोवाइड विद यू, प्रोवाइड द सेम, ठीक है ना? मुझे ये बताओ क्या क्या चाहिए अभी, कहाँ कहाँ प्रॉब्लम है. मॉक्स कर रहे हो, मॉक्स में कितने मार्क्स आ रहे हैं, ठीक है? ये सारा का सारा आपने अपने पास लिखा है या नहीं लिखा है, एवरीथिंग इज नीडेड. एंड ऑल्सो आई नीड अ फेवर फ्रॉम यू पीपल. व्हाट इज़ अ फेवर लाइक? तो उससे पहले मेरे को ये पूछना है कि are you happy with iQuanta's uh, uh, the effort that iQuanta is taking and helping you people with this kind of a thought process? ठीक है आर्या, टेकन कर देंगे. Yeah, you're happy with this? Okay, fine. So we really don't know about the expected cutoff, but definitely it is going to be the first year, so they would not be going across with a very high cutoff. But then again, totally depends upon what kind of paper they have, right? If the paper is very like मतलब टुच्चा सा पेपर आया है ना, तो देन ऑफ कोर्स क्या हो जाएगा, कट ऑफ बहुत ज़्यादा ऊपर चला जाएगा, राइट? एंड दे माइट डू दैट बिकॉज इट आफ्टर ऑल इट इज़ बैंगलोर. दे वुड नॉट बी आस्किंग फॉर एनी वन टू बी एंटरटेन्ड आउट देयर, सो दे वुड ऑलवेज वॉन्ट, उनको तो हमेशा ऐसा चाहिए कि एकदम क्रीम बच्चा है उनके पास, है ना? तो इसीलिए आपका प्रोफाइलिंग, आपका सब कुछ यहाँ पे मैटर करेगा, राइट? तो अभी से आपका दिमाग उस पर रहना चाहिए, ठीक है? ओके, सो व्हाट इज़ द फेवर आई वांट? I want you people to help us grow, help the IPMAT team grow, ठीक है? Please share our, these things, these links with your friends so that we can, we can actually go across and reach out to more people out there and help everyone, right? So we want to help everyone and you are the people who can help us. तो इतना फेवर तो बनता है भाई, क्या कहते हो? ठीक है ना? कुणाल, पूरी तरह से कभी ये टफ नहीं बनेगा. इट विल ऑलवेज बी मॉडरेट. हर पेपर मॉडरेट होता है, पूरी तरह से टफ बनाने का कोई तुक ही नहीं है ना? ऐसे तो फिर कोई सारे बच्चे पेपर ही नहीं देंगे, अगले साल से कोई पेपर ही देने नहीं आएगा, सब कहेंगे भैया इतना टफ होता है कौन जाएगा, है ना? तो पेपर तो ऐसा रहेगा कि इट वुड बी मिक्स एंड मैच ऑफ एवरीथिंग. कोई जा भी कुछ कर ले, कैसे कर ले, वैसे वाला चीज़ है, ठीक है? सब प्रोफाइल में कुछ नहीं है, ठीक है कुणाल, यू कैन ऑलवेज गेट इन टच, लेट्स सी व्हाट कैन बी डन अबाउट इट, ठीक है? हाँ, किसी को भी कोई प्रॉब्लम होती है प्लीज़ फ़ोन कर लिया करो यार, कोई टेंशन नहीं है, अपन लोग दोस्त यार जैसे हैं, ठीक है? पूरा टीम यहाँ पे हेल्प करने के लिए तैयार है. सर ऑल्सो व्हाट्स एक्सपेक्टेड कंपटीशन लेवल, लाइक नंबर ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स विल अपीयर? जहाँ तक मेरे को लगता है कि दे वुड बी समवेयर अराउंड, मतलब 1 लाख से ऊपर तो बच्चा होना चाहिए उसमें. ओलंपियाड और एनसीसी का सर्टिफिकेट हेल्प करेंगे? नहीं करेगा ब्रो. सो फ्रॉम वेयर आई कैन प्रिपेयर फॉर क्लास 9 IPM? फॉर क्लास 9 IPM मतलब? सर फ्रॉम वेयर आई कैन प्रिपेयर, पूजा कैन यू जस्ट टेल मी फॉर क्लास 9 IPM? 9 IPM का मतलब क्या हुआ? You are in class 9 and you want to prepare for IPM. This is what you want to say? कोई बात नहीं कुणाल, सब ठीक हो जाएगा. 1 लाख मैं तुम्हारे को बता रहा हूँ, कम भी आ सकते हैं, है ना? बिकॉज मैनी स्टूडेंट्स, सी व्हाट रियली हैपन्स इज, बहुत सारे बच्चे तो ऐसे ही चले जाते हैं कि हाँ चलो यार पेपर दे देते हैं, IIM का है, निकलेगा तो नहीं लेकिन दे देते हैं चलो एज एन ऑल्टरनेट. बहुत सारे तो ऐसे होते हैं कि वो देते हैं कि वो पेपर दे देते हैं और फिर उसके बाद वो कहते हैं कि दे तो दिया है, हो गया तो हो गया, नहीं हुआ तो नहीं हुआ, ऐसे वाली बात, ठीक है ना? हो गया तो हो गया, नहीं हुआ तो नहीं हुआ, ऐसे वाली बात, ठीक है? सो कुछ भी हो सकता है ऐसे में, राइट? ओके, शी इज़ इन क्लास 9. 1 लाख इन IPMAT इंदौर, डेफिनेटली वो तो होगा ही होगा, आराम से होगा. IPMAT इंदौर तो अब वो नाम आ चुका है वहाँ पे कि इतना बच्चा तो एक्सपेक्टेड है. ठीक है? सो प्लीज़ डू रिमेंबर दिस, प्लीज़ डू रिमेंबर दिस, यू नीड टू हेल्प अस ग्रो, ठीक है? ओ कोई नहीं आ रहा, कर लेंगे प्रा, हम हैं ना यहाँ पे, ठीक है? विल हेल्प यू, लाइक टोटल वाला हेल्प, ठीक है? लाइक इंदौर में अराउंड 30-35,000 देते हैं, तो इसके तो बहुत कम बच्चे दे रहे हैं. हाँ जी सर, आई मीन IPM ओलंपियाड इन क्लास 9th. अच्छा, इन विच 2 phases आर देयर, फाइनल एंड मेगा फाइनल? फाइनल एंड मेगा फाइनल. सर लास्ट ईयर, Do one thing, Pooja, I've shared my number out there. Get in contact, ask me, क्योंकि ऐसे नहीं हो पाएगा बात, मेरे से डायरेक्टली बात करो, मैं बता दूंगा क्या करना है. फीस भी एंड कोर्स भी बहुत स्पेसिफिक है. यस यस यस. लास्ट ईयर सिर्फ 30,000 स्टूडेंट ने दिया था IPMAT इंदौर. ओह ठीक है, लाख बच्चे भी नहीं देते. ठीक है. तो फिर वही वाली बात आ गई ना कि अपना वहाँ पर आकर अटक गया. ठीक है. सी आई डोंट नो व्हाट एग्जैक्टली हाउ मेनी स्टूडेंट्स आर देयर हु आर अपेयरिंग फॉर द पेपर. मेरे से ये बात करो कि इंग्लिश में कैसे मार्क्स लाने हैं. भाई इंग्लिश में कैसे मार्क्स लाने हैं ये मैं बताऊँगा. ठीक है. योगेश सर आपको बताएंगे कि भैया कितने बच्चे वहाँ पे आएंगे, क्या कट ऑफ निकलेगी और कैसे करना है. बात समझ में आ गई. ठीक है. और आपको मैथ्स की हेल्प चाहिए तो उसमें भी योगेश सर हैं, निखिल सर हैं, दे आर ऑलवेज गोइंग टू हेल्प यू आउट. ठीक है ना. कुछ भी हो जाए. हाँ, प्लस यू नीड हेल्प इन इंटरव्यूज़, यू वांट टू टेक हेल्प इन कि मतलब हमारे को कितने क्वेश्चंस करने चाहिए, कितने नहीं करने चाहिए, ये सब मेरे को बताओ. बस उसमें काम करते हैं. ठीक है. 18,000 एप्लीकेशन आए हैं. ठीक है, अच्छी बात है भाई. बस 18,000, चलो अच्छी बात है. फीस भी एंड कोर्स भी बहुत स्पेसिफिक है. ठीक है. यस सर, यही बता दो. हाँ, तो अपनी पढ़ाई पे अभी ध्यान दो. मार्क्स कैसे उठाने ये आपका ज़्यादा इम्पॉर्टेंट फैक्टर है रादर दैन कि कितने बच्चे आएंगे कितने नहीं आएंगे. बात समझ में आ गई ना. जितने भी बच्चे आएँ उससे तुम्हारा कुछ भी नहीं लेना देना. तुम्हारा फाइट जो है वो तुम्हारे खुद के साथ है. समझ में आ गई ना. ठीक है. दिन में कितने क्वेश्चंस करना चाहिए सारे सब्जेक्ट्स मिला के. आई बिलीव यू शुड गो अक्रॉस विद अ कंप्लीट मॉक राइट नाउ. हर रोज़ एक मॉक और 2 घंटे लगाकर उसकी एनालिसिस एटलीस्ट. बात समझ में आ गई. ओनली देन यू आर गोइंग टू गो. आर यू ट्राइंग फॉर इट? हु, मी? ये टॉकिंग अबाउट मी. सब बोर्ड्स भी आ रहे हैं, मैनेज नहीं हो रहा. आर्या ऐसा है ना भाई, अभी तुम बैंगलोर का दे दो, फिर हम वापस क्लासेस स्टार्ट करेंगे इसी तरह से IIM इंदौर के लिए. समझ में आ गई. सो आई नीड मोर ऑफ योर फ्रेंड्स आउट हेयर. ये चीज़ भैया देख लो, इतना तो बनता है. ठीक है. 20,000 हो गए, चलो भैया वहाँ पे अभी 16,000 थे, अभी 20,000 हो गए. ये धीरे धीरे बढ़ता ही रहेगा. खैर चलो कोई नहीं, इंग्लिश का करते रहो. ठीक है. नेक्स्ट वीक हम फिर से, अब की बार नेक्स्ट वीक थोड़ा सा लेवल अप होगा. ठीक है. सी इंग्लिश में आपको ज़्यादा टाइम देना पड़ेगा किसी भी हालत में. वाई? बिकॉज कट ऑफ ऑफ इंग्लिश गोज़ हाई. ठीक है. आई एम टॉकिंग इन टर्म्स ऑफ इंदौर. अब जैसे भी आपके क्वेश्चन, अगर क्वेश्चन नंबर ऑफ क्वेश्चन कम है बैंगलोर में, अगर कम क्वेश्चन हुए तो उसको कम टाइम दे देना और ज़्यादा टाइम DILR. ठीक है ना, वो थोड़ा सा ध्यान देना. लाइक इंदौर रोहतक वगैरह भी बीच में, तो फ्रिक्वेंसी कैसे रहनी चाहिए? इंदौर रोहतक तो बेटा आपका बाद में आएगा ना, जून में आएगा, तो अभी कैसे, है ना. वो आपका पेपर मई जून में आएगा. एरियाज़ में इंग्लिश का डबल वैल्यू है देन QA. हाँ जी. कॉजिकॉड की VA कौन सा लेवल होता है? कॉजिकॉड इज़ ईजी, उतना नहीं है. ठीक है, आराम से हो जाएगा हमारे को. लेकिन ये याद रखना उसका RC बहुत थोड़ा सा लेवल होता है, तो उसको अच्छे से पढ़ना है. ठीक है. एक काम करते हैं, दिसंबर फर्स्ट वीक में उसका आ रहा है, उसके हिसाब से हम थोड़ा सा अपना लेवल बढ़ा देंगे. ठीक है. वो देख लेंगे कि वो किस लेवल का हमारे को दे रहे हैं सैम्पल पेपर, तो उसके हिसाब से हम अपनी पढ़ाई उस हिसाब से चेंज करेंगे. समझ में आ गई. तो आप सारे के सारे तैयार रहना, फॉलो करते रहना. ठीक है. और करते रहना. फॉर फ्री मॉक्स there might be 1 or 2 free mocks out there as well, you can check them out there. Actually क्या है कि पूरी इंडस्ट्री में अभी तक किसी ने बैंगलोर का बनाया नहीं है, तो फिर what you can do is like you can alwaज check up our sources and start from there itself. ठीक है भाई. चलो गाइज, मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट क्लास. ठीक है. तब तक के लिए एकदम मस्त पढ़ाई वढ़ाई में लगे रहो. ठीक है. उसमें VA हार्ड नहीं होगी, वो आसान से निकल जाएगा. ठीक है. क्राइस्ट का VA उतना हार्ड नहीं होता भाई. Okay then, bye bye guys.